everyone, and welcome to the GuildMag podcast. We're back after a month.
Yeah, how long has it been? It's been a little while.
Yeah.
Listen, I was sick.
I know you were sick, and then well, you guys might notice it's just me and Aaron today.
Rowan, that dude goes to school or something. It's freaking weird.
I don't know. He's got exams coming up, so we're not going to be seeing him for a couple weeks.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with that noob.
I don't know. So
trying to be successful. What?
Trying to get a degree? What's that about?
Yeah.
So we're here, and so the spring update happened this week. So we have a ton of stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
And
we have a ton of stuff to paraphrase, rather.
Oh my gosh, those patch notes I air quoted them, and I quoted them on our show notes. That was more like a booklet. It was 30 odd pages, I think, is what the number that they'd floated on Reddit.
It was devs. Yeah. I read the condensed forum post version, and that was still very long.
Yeah. So there's just a ton of stuff that they did. It was a lot bigger than I was anticipating. So I guess that's...
I'm not going to make a that's what she said joke there. Oh, wait, I just did.
You just did.
Moving
on. All right. So before we get into this, what have you been up to this week, man?
Not too much Guild Wars 2, but I logged in a couple times to... do some stuff with some guildies and stuff, but I haven't been able to do some of the new stuff that came with the patch, which is unfortunate. But I did some of the new dailies; those are cool, like the rewards and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just guild missions and that sort of stuff.
How were the guild missions? Did they feel any different?
Felt more or less the same. Yeah, I think they might have tweaked the reward timers a little bit better because, before the patch, when you would complete a guild mission, you wouldn't get the reward for a little while after, and it was kind of annoying, and they felt a little better this time.
Yeah, I didn't get a lot of playtime, but when I did go in, I ran around and did some Heart of Thorns stuff just to test out how the rewards feel in there. Felt so much nicer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a big part of the changes.
Yeah, it felt like you can just really go around by yourself now if you want to. You don't have to. I didn't feel as tied to the meta as before, so that was really nice. I liked that change a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So before we get into our whole long discussion, because we're going to be here a while, guys, we got gem store stuff. So
yes, the best part of the show, my favorite.
So along with the patch, I've got 7,000 devices here and a bunch of mice as well, and I don't even know what computer
7,000 devices and 7,000 mices.
It's just not good. I know the rhyming is bad as well. So we've got new Black Lion weapons came in, the spectral weapon set, and this is actually not that bad. We kind of
it's like 85% of them are terrible. Let's be honest here.
No, it's not that bad.
Yeah, there are 3 of these that are acceptable. The rest of them are utter street trash.
Acceptable according to Aaron. So
yeah,
take that. And
the longbow is good.
The longbow I liked.
The shield is good.
The shield is good.
And the staff is good.
I like the focus as well. It felt.
It's all right. It's okay.
I liked the focus. I don't know about this greatsword. I'm not really a big fan of greatswords that have your blade looks like a 2-pronged fork at the end, like you could just stab your enemy.
I don't like it. I don't like them if they don't have a cross guard, so that automatically rolls this one out for me.
You are very particular.
I don't like the whole, because it's so, it just wouldn't work. It just wouldn't work.
Wouldn't work in real life.
Yes, I hate it. I hate it so much.
Yeah, this was, I don't know, the greatsword for me, it just didn't, it feels, it's pretty, but the point that the point at the end of the blade doesn't meet. It just feels like it would, I don't know, shimmy shake in your hand, vibrate or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Plus it looks like a fork, so I was just gonna if you want.
Or it would get caught. It would get caught in their armor, and you wouldn't be able to yank it out of their mangled corpse in time to get to your next enemy.
Give me back my sword.
Yeah.
What other ones stood out to me? The mace is okay. The scepter is actually different from their previous scepters. I liked that it's got this two thing. I guess they're going for duality here. With this set on a lot of these weapons, but it does look a bit like they could have made this the torch, because it does have that sort of candelabra candle holder feel to it.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's different, so it's...
Yeah, it's not the usual, like, ice cream cone looking thing, so that's kind of nice. That has some uniqueness to it. Those look like, are those bird skulls? Those look like bird skulls.
They've got this, like, birdie thing going on with...
This sort of avian theme.
Yeah, this avian theme, that's a good word. But I do like the shield. The short bow... I usually like the short bows, but this one I'm not enamored of. Yeah,
I don't like how it bends down at each end. I feel like that looks really forced. It looks like someone actually took it and went like, that's better.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, sir, no, it is not. It is not better in any capacity.
Although I suppose it makes the bowstring... Although, if it had gone through the bowstring area, then maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't care for the way it's been designed.
Yeah. The staff's good. The sword...
Yeah, the staff's very good.
The one-handed sword, though... we were talking about this before the show started, that it has that rapier feel, but it looks like a needle. You're gonna poke
I don't feel like the hilt goes with the blade on this one, and it just doesn't look right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it looks like you would stab yourself with the crossguard a lot.
Yeah, I don't know, it's very toned down, like the only thing that has effects on it is at the crossguard, I guess.
Also, the spectral area of it, right above the crossguard, just doesn't look like it belongs there. It looks very tacked on.
Yeah, it just didn't, I don't know, I think it's because the blade, for me it feels unbalanced because the blade is too plain.
Well, and the sword itself doesn't really match with the rest of the weapon set, stylistically.
Yeah. We're all about style. I do like the torch.
Mm-hmm.
And the warhorn is actually kind of good as well.
The warhorn is very different from your average warhorn, which is refreshing. Yeah. But I'm not sure that I necessarily enjoy it on its own.
I don't know. I don't use warhorn enough. I mean, I might if I did a Tempest, which I still haven't. I haven't gotten into all of my elite specs yet, so... I
don't know that I've ever used Warhorn since the game came out. Like, I've tried it, obviously, but I've never, like, been like, alright, this is my Warhorn build. No, I've never done that.
I use it sometimes on Necro, because it's got good crippled bleed. It's got good conditions on it, on Necro. And I'll sometimes use it on Ranger for boons. But, yeah... It's not a weapon that I use, as a first choice.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not, this set is not bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad. And then they also came out with the Sentinel outfit, which I'm not
so hot on.
I'm not so hot on. I think, Aaron was mentioning before we started the show, that it's with the right dye scheme, it could work. And I guess that's a good point.
Well, it has potential, but it's like it's going for two opposing themes. Like, on one end, it's going for this like evil juggernaut look of like Terminator badassery, right? Mm-hmm. And that's all well and good until you start examining it more closely and you find out there's like flower petals and wings and sparrow heads on the shoulders. And you're like...
the shoulders are the thing that I think bug me the most about this outfit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure those are sparrow heads. And that just kind of takes away from, like, if you were intimidated by this, once you notice that the shoulders are birdies, you're like, all right, I'm not scared of you at all anymore. You're just kind of a joke now. So
tweet at me. Oh, you see what I did there?
Yeah, it's like a Twitter armor set. So
the Twitter armor set.
I don't know. Is this what you wear if you're a social justice warrior?
Oh, I don't know.
But no, I think there's two opposing themes here, and they don't really go together.
What I find cool is that you can, the dye channels that they put in it will change like the glow effect on the shoulders, so that you can have your birds with flames coming out of them, which is a bit kind of weird.
I just feel like the main goal for me, if I was wearing this, would be to distract from the bird shoulders as much as humanly possible.
Yeah.
Because at a glance, it's pretty cool looking, but once you examine it, you're like, oh no.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know that I'll add this to my outfit arsenal.
Yeah, I don't think I will either.
But they did apparently put in a toggle, so you can toggle on your outfits now, or toggle them off or on. How does it work? Anyway, we're for the cities.
There's always been an off.
Yeah, but apparently, like, if you're in a city, you can actually have it turned on. If you step out, you can have it turned off or something. I saw some.
Oh, so they can function. They
like
can function
clothes.
Similarly to town clothes
Yeah.
now.
So that was a little stealthy thing that they put in, and people were happy about that on Twitter.
A little bit undercover.
Yeah. I don't know. I tend to, if I like an outfit, I'll just wear it. With people, and just because.
I tend to not wear outfits just because they're guaranteed to be exactly the same as what someone else is wearing, and that's kind of annoying.
Yeah, but if you tailor your dye scheme to it,
Yeah, but it's still the same.
You're still not.
Yeah.
Well then, to each his own. What else have we got going on? Also this week in the gem store, they did some changes to what comes out of Black Lion chests. They've removed instant repair canister, boxes of fun, and mystery tonics.
God.
Of the non-endless variety, this is. Those are out. They've increased the amount of revive orbs that you get. So
God.
They award now 2. They swapped out some dyes. They also said that they've increased the drop rate of Black Lion ticket scraps, which is good. I know that.
How many times have they done that throughout the history of this game?
Dude, I don't know, but all I know is that my RNG for ticket scraps is high.
Mine is awful.
And, well, yours might not be as awful now, and mine will probably be obscene. Obscenely good.
Yeah.
So there you go. I liked the change that they've done. All common individual combat boosters have been combined into a single enchanted combat boost that allows players to choose their combat boost. Thank you. Because those things take up way too much inventory space.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Zodiac Chaos and Balthazar weapon skins have been added as a very rare reward. And an endless repair canister item has been added as a very rare reward as well.
Nice.
So we shall see.
Repair canister, I could hang with that.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be good. If you picked up one of those shared inventory slots, you could share it across your characters too.
You could. That really annoys me that they increase the revive orb rate though, because I don't use those. Like, I just delete them.
Mm-hmm.
There are very rare scenarios in which they're actually useful in the game. Most of the time, it's like, oh, I can just waypoint, and that will be way easier for my life. So I don't know. They've replaced annoying loot with more annoying loot. So it's not really a quality of life change now, is it?
Yeah, well, we'll see. I think it will make some people happy. I just had things happen on my computer. I'm trying to get things to just behave. All right. So that's your gem store news for the week. And what else? Yeah, I think there's an additional shared inventory slot. So now I guess we can just start talking about new stuff. The patch. Which is basically what we're going to be talking about forever. Mm-hmm. Although I did want to talk about or let people know that the Gamers Giving Back Toga Party happened last Saturday in support of the Multiple Sclerosis Society of Canada. Their goal was to raise $1,337. They raised $3,511.
Wow.
And they are accepting donations until the end of this month, which is April 30th. And they've got some donation prizes as well that you can win. And those will be announced in May. And the link to that is toga.gamergivingback.com, which I'm going to just stick into chat right now. And they will be in the show notes as well when we publish up our post here.
Very cool.
So yeah, that's really cool. So if you want to go support a good cause, there you go. So now I think that's all of our newsy stuff, right?
I believe so, yes.
We can just jump into this.
Yes.
All right. So this patch is big. Aaron, you want to take us through the highlights of the patch?
The condensed version.
The condensed version.
Yeah. So probably the biggest, I don't know if it would be the biggest deal, but it was kind of the biggest deal for me was the general quality of life changes to the Maguma jungle area. Mm-hmm. They implemented several instances of better rewards, and they increased experience for a lot of things like adventures and enemy kills. And I believe a lot of the event reward, like progress bar increments, give you better experience now. Mm-hmm. They reduced difficulty in quite a few things, like they added seconds to timers in adventures, and they decreased some champions to veterans and the Defeat the Mordrum events in some of the maps and stuff like that. So general difficulty reductions, and they increased waypoint availability, which is probably the thing I'm most happy about personally.
I agree.
Because that was pissing me off.
Yeah.
And they did a lot of general changes to the way the event cycles work. Like certain events aren't functioning certain ways anymore and stuff like that. Like a lot of the changes, I think Verdant Brink by far and away had the most changes to it. Just because of the day-night cycle, they changed a lot of how that works. Like certain stuff doesn't happen during the night anymore. Certain stuff doesn't happen during the day anymore. They kind of split the rewards between the day and night cycles now, so they both do their own thing, which is pretty cool because a lot of people hated how you had to go through the day and then the night to get the full reward cycle. Now the day has its reward cycle, the night has its reward cycle, which is a lot better, I think. Mm-hmm. So those are all things that made me very, very happy. And they also added Maguma dailies, which was pretty cool because we've been wanting those since we expected those to come out with Heart of Thorns, and then they didn't. And then we were like, why don't we have these? And then we realized, oh yeah, they never actually said anything about those. So that's fun. So we have those now. And along with jumping puzzle rewards, dungeon path rewards, and mini dungeon dailies. So those are all dailies. Those are all things that are back in the daily achievement rotation. I don't think we ever had dungeon and mini dungeon dailies, so those are completely new, which is awesome. But jumping puzzle dailies are back, along with a 2 gold flat reward for completing your dailies every day, which is awesome. Mm-hmm. I mean, you could argue inflation, but I don't even care. It's like getting 2 gold for my dailies.
Just give me the money.
Like I just want 2 gold for my dailies, man. That's all I need.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked it when we used to get laurels for doing the dailies, but now with gold, it's better. It's good. I like it.
Yeah. Give me that gold. Mm. And then they also improved dungeon rewards overall. Like they added a new achievement, a new repeatable achievement, which is how you're going to get your gold reward for dungeons. So they added an achievement where if you complete 8 random dungeon paths, you get rewarded 150 dungeon tokens from the dungeon of choice and 5 gold, which, that's not as good as it used to be, but it's still better than what it is now. So I think token-wise, it's really good because they also bumped the number of tokens you get for your daily finish of one dungeon path from 40 tokens to 80 tokens, which is pretty hardcore. Plus the 20 tokens you get on top of that. That's 100 tokens for a daily completion of a dungeon path. That's pretty amazing. Yeah. So I'm pretty happy with what they've done for dungeons. That's pretty awesome. Yeah.
I mean, so many people left the game. Like guilds just fell apart for when the dungeon rewards were nerfed. Yeah, Carnifex brings up that includes story mode as well for dungeons.
Yes, which is awesome because before it was just like a measly 50 silver you get for story mode. And correct me if I'm wrong, did they take the 50 silver out when they nerfed the dungeon rewards?
I think they did.
Yes, it was just like, why do story mode at all now? So So that's really, really, really nice.
Yeah.
It's a good change.
Yeah. Blue Jasmine brings up in chat that the leyline sparks got buffed. The drop rate for leyline sparks. And I've seen this come up a couple of times on Reddit throughout the week. That just the drop rate for leyline sparks is a bit obscene now.
Ooh.
So that'll be nice, but
so that's probably going to get re-nerfed at some point.
Yeah,
so
that's what people are
on it now while you can.
That's what people are wondering if that's going to get nerfed. I'm sure that they're watching. I'm pretty sure that they're watching how the economy is fluctuating and changing. So things will get adjusted, but for now it's nice.
I'd like to think there's just a little room at ArenaNet with one dude at a desk and a monitor, and he's watching a line graph, and it's just the leyline spark graph, and that's all it is. And that one dude gets paid to watch leyline spark.
It's like that's like the room with the buttons that you can just press to make things
exactly, and he can just press like a button to nerf it a little bit or a button to buff it a little bit. It's great.
Yeah.
That's how game design works.
Yeah.
Just remember that.
Yeah.
Oh man, Guild Wars is never going to promote us ever again.
Well, so Nebulizer brings up this point about gold rewards in chat. Those of us that have a ton of money, yeah, there's probably having that 2 gold or just having the increased gold rewards is probably not going to make that much of a difference. But there are players out there that don't have that much money, especially new players. So I mean, dailies.
Yeah, 2 gold to a new player. Holy crap!
Are you kidding me? You know what? And what I think it does too, because free to play, and I haven't actually logged into my free to play account, so I can't verify this. But I know that before, free to play accounts were locked out of the daily login rewards, and they were only allowed to do certain of the dailies. So I'd be interested to see. I don't know if anyone in chat knows if they've checked their free to play accounts. How this 2 gold reward will affect free-to-play player accounts, because I think that would be one way to incentivize free-to-play accounts to become paid accounts.
Yeah, I mean, I like even to the point of like rich people versus not so rich people. Even the people I know, I have a lot of friends who are just swimming in like gold and legendaries and stuff, and even they love the 2 gold reward. They're like, oh yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Because the people with a lot of money, right, they don't look at it as 2 gold a day. They look at it as 60 gold a month.
Right.
And they're like, hey, 60 gold a month. That's nice.
That's nice, yeah. For just finishing
it's good for everyone.
Yeah. It's good.
It's something that's something everyone can enjoy.
More money for all. Woo!
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, go ahead.
I was just going to say, the amount of things that people will be able to sink their gold into now.
Yeah, I don't think it'll inflate too much because people will just be flushing that gold back into the community, back into the economy. So I don't think it's going to be a huge deal.
Did you talk about the changes made to guild halls?
No, I didn't.
So the guild halls, they decreased the amount of materials needed for certain recipes, lowered the cost for scribing. So it makes sense, I think, that if you're going to start putting more money out into the economy, that you give people some kind of something to spend it on. And I think more people are probably going to be leveling up their guild halls, I should say, to make it work. So that's kind of nice that you can have that. Or you can, convert your gold to gems and buy stuff out of the gem store.
Yeah, and Carnifex in chat says the ArenaNet economist, who I believe is John Smith, might be someone different now, but it usually is John Smith, said the gold shouldn't affect the economy because the reward is targeted for casual players. I more think it's just because like 2 gold in your pocket isn't going to be a big deal. But yeah, it's targeted towards people who are just going to be like, oh yay, 2 gold. They're not going to be like seriously using that 2 gold to abuse the like trading posts and stuff. So I agree. I don't think it's going to be a big deal.
Yeah.
In the economy. I think it's just a nice thing for people in general.
Yeah. JP Ulysses brings up, I believe people are happy because they're not just focusing on raids.
Yes, I know, right? I'm sick of raids, guys. As somebody who doesn't do raids, I'm sick of all the, well, here's what we're doing for raids. Every time they come out with one of those, I'm like, well, I can tune out.
Well, I will say though that the raid community got a little bit of love with the addition of the raid lobby to the aerodrome. Have you checked this out? The raid lobby?
I haven't.
It's pretty cool.
Not. Is it?
It's a pretty cool room. It looks like a cargo hangar basically for the flying ships that are just docked up there. And they've got the portals that will take you into 2 portals into the existing raid wings and then 1 into your DPS check room, which is pretty cool. I checked it out. I mean, I'm not a raider, but I just want to say, well, let's go and find out how my builds are, just to see. And you can customize it, set up with hold on, words are difficult today. You can set them up by asking the control panel to give you a golem that has different levels of health pools. You can also change the way that boons will show up. You can either apply them all or take them away. Or you can change also if the golem is going to stay static in one place or will be moving around. So you can check your DPS that way, and it's kind of neat just to see. And there is already people on Reddit putting out content of here are what the DPS builds, the meta builds, how they're doing, so you can have some kind of gauge. So I think that's helpful. In lieu of a DPS meter, that you know raid leaders will be able to go in and say, okay guys, here's your golem, go to work and show me your numbers.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Yeah, I like the idea of the raid lobby. It kind of lets that community be together more, you know, kind of throws them in a cell together and says have fun.
Well, yeah, well, I mean, it helps the map chat and just in general at Verdant Brink. It's not overwhelmed by, people looking for raid groups or whatever.
It relieves the rest of us of the raid drama.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice. Yeah. So that's a thing I'm a fan of. They also had a bunch of fractal changes. Guys, I'm not going to lie, I'm not too up to date on the fractal changes. They reworked the fractal daily system to where you can do like multiple dailies in one go if you go to the right fractal level, right? Which is pretty cool. So like you can do the level 21 and level 50 and level 70 dailies all at once if you go into like a level 75 fractal. So that's pretty cool. I made up those numbers. I don't know what the actual daily increments are. Yeah. But before someone's like, well, actually,
Yeah.
And the legendary backpack is finally in for fractals. It's officially a thing. You can get ad infinito.
Ad infinitum,
yeah,
that one.
The stone wings.
Yeah,
you can get those.
They are really cool.
Yeah, they are actually. It's something I would consider pursuing. And those are a thing. Reworked fractal dailies. They adjusted some of the instabilities to make them a little more not infuriating. A little more fair. So that's something I think high-level fractal completers will be a little bit thankful for. And they did a massive rework to the Cliffside fractal. It's like a completely new animal now. I haven't played it, but I've seen a lot of screenshots and I've heard from some people that have played it. And like the cult leader guy has a crazy new reskin, which is awesome. Yeah. And the mechanics have been tweaked quite a bit. Just a much cooler encounter now, basically. Yeah. And I'm interested to jump in and play it at some point this week. And that's kind of a very, very, very condensed version of what happened with fractals. Neither of us are huge fractalers, so we weren't going to get into it too much.
You do a bit more with your guild. I don't as much.
Yeah, we do fractals every so often. I guild with some people who do like level 80 and 90 fractals, but I don't mess with that. The highest fractal I've been in is like the 25 or something. But they also were you going to say something?
Keep going. I'm listening to you.
I was just because I was going to jump to the tigers.
Oh, okay. Before we get there, you know what they did? Have you seen the new Looking for group?
I've seen the removal of the clutter.
Oh my gosh, it's so awesome now.
Yeah.
Raiders have their own separate section. You can look for specifically for which wing you want to do. There's a section for mentoring the Adventurers Club, or some kind of tag it's called. So new players, if they want help, they can specifically advertise in that channel. So which is nice for new players. But just I don't know, it's just so much cleaner. The UI is just so much cleaner now.
Yeah, basically huge quality of life improvements to the LFG tool. You know, all sorts of new subgroups, you know, less clutter in places that don't need it. Really, really, really awesome. I didn't see, is it still technically in beta, or is it officially like released?
I believe it's released. Nice,
because I think all of us, like, that beta tag kind of became a joke at this point. So that's kind of nice. And like Carnifex mentions in chat, it has squad availability now, so you can advertise for squads in it, which is neato, because squads are a huge part of the game now, and like how they've been implemented and stuff like that. So that, overall, that makes me really happy. That was one of the things I was most happy with from this patch, was like the hot quality of life changes and the LFG tool changes, because that thing was a hot mess, guys. That thing,
no pun intended.
Seriously, that thing was not pretty. So I'm very pleased with the changes they've made to it.
Yep, absolutely. A couple of things that we're not going to focus on. We're not focusing on PvP or World versus World, because this is a PvE podcast. But it's just to put it out there, World versus World got a lot of love with this patch, and they are beta testing things with that community. PvP also got some more love. I didn't know that they could get any more love, but they have gotten a bit more. And then, of course, there's the skill balance, which they're out there. Go read the notes. We're going to link those into the show notes, but it's just so much. 30 odd pages is just a lot of stuff.
Yeah, here's the deal, guys. Like, with the skill balance stuff, I'm sure if you're interested, you'll have looked it up already. Yeah. And neither of us are super build savvy, right? So we're not the people you want to hear talk about that.
No. You want to talk to those min-maxer theory crafters.
Yeah, you want to go watch G-Time for that.
Pretty much. Yeah, go to Brazil.
But things we do talk about is fashion, because that's really all we're good for. And new legendary short bow.
Yeah, so
game. It's got there's tigers.
Chukka and Chump what?
I hate the name. It's the worst named legendary that they've ever come out with. Yeah. Absolutely awful. Don't know who thought of it, but
I don't know, but whatever.
I'm sure you have good ideas most of the time, but you messed up on this one.
Oh man, but Wubdor, I think that's how he pronounces his screen name, put out a video on the effects that the short bow has. It shoots out a tiger, which is kind of cool. Kind of
expected.
Yes.
Better than a unicorn.
Yeah, well, yeah. The footprints are claw scratches, which I thought was kind of neat. I might go for
footprints than just like a splot, like a shiny splotch.
Yes.
It's more creative, so I like that.
I like that. Yeah. What else did your thoughts on the short bow?
I don't know, just that I didn't like the name. That's really my only beef with it. I don't really like how the physical bow looks either. It's a little too opaque, I guess. Like, it looks like just this big kind of triangle, and I don't know how I feel about that, but the effects seem cool, and the scavenger hunt for it seemes cool, like how you gotta go find the tigers, and there's like a mini pet involved, and so that made me happy. So overall, I'd say I like its implementation, but I just don't care for the item itself.
Yeah. Well,
like, I won't be getting it. I still have no inclination to get any legendary short bows, because they both don't really do it for me.
Well, you've got two professions that use them right now?
Yeah,
Thief
I think it's
Ranger.
Thief, and what's the other one?
Ranger.
Yeah. I didn't know short bows were so underused, but they really are, aren't they? They're not a big deal.
I don't know why. I mean, on Ranger, I love it because of all the conditions that it throws out. And on Thief, you can, if you're a PvE thief and you want to get around maps quickly, Shortbow 5.
Oh, I love shortbow on Thief for PvE because it's basically unlimited dodges.
Mm-hmm.
You can dodge for days. And I never remember to use it. Like, I never remember to use my shortbow 3 to dodge, but it's there.
It's there. So that's the shortbow. I kind of liked it. I like that it's, I saw someone compare it to Dreamer and saying it kind of looks like a more masculine version of the Dreamer, which I suppose is true. I just really like those footprints.
If they really wanted a masculine shortbow, they could have made it like a bear or something, you know. Tiger's a little in between.
Tigers? What are you talking about? Tigers
What about
will kill
a moose? Moose is like the manliest animal.
No.
If they wanted to go for a manly shortbow, they should have made it a moose-themed shortbow.
Why?
I'm into that. With some rocking some antlers.
The big antlers.
Big pair of antlers. Yeah. Guys, this is why I don't design weapons.
This is why you don't design weapons, yeah.
Yeah.
I could see like the antler thing coming into like a hammer, but we won't go there now.
That's true.
Let's stop.
Yeah.
We'll
leave the weapon design to the people who get paid for it.
To the professionals.
Yeah. That's probably for the best, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But in other news, the big bomb drop from this patch, the super crazy thing that I didn't see coming. I don't know if they announced it beforehand, but I really did not see this coming. The level 80 boost.
Yes.
You wrote an article here? So
I wrote an article on this.
Talk to me about this.
It's on GuildMag.com. So when I first heard that this had come in on Tuesday, I was like, what? Because we need another way to boost up and get to 80. Tomes aren't enough. So I was really skeptical at first. So I went in and I checked it out. And I will admit, I was impressed in that sense that I like the idea that you can go in when you open it up on a level 80 under 80 character, you can go into a trial that is unlimited. So you can try out that profession at level 80 to your heart's content for as long as you want. This is, I think, good for, like I brought up in the article that I wrote, I think this is going to be a good way for free-to-play players or even new players who are just jumping into the game straight away, that they want to test out the professions and see what they're like. I think this is going to be a good way for them to see, all right, do I want to play this profession at max level?
Mm-hmm.
See, like, I thought of you with your whole Mesmer thing, because what they've done is when you get this trial period, they give you gear, they give you a build that's supposed to be survivable, a good survivable build, and they throw you into the Silver Wastes, which is your favorite area, or it was for a while.
It is. It's my favorite map.
Yeah. So the idea that you can go into this map that has a lot of I think of the Silver Waste as a bridge, kind of. It's like a bridge map for me. It bridges what's going on in core game into what's happening in the Heart of Thorns map. So you get this mix of conditions are actually really effective in Silver Wastes. Obviously DPS is still effective in the Silver Wastes if you combine it well. So just being able to let people try out and see if they're going to like the profession, and then they can decide whether they want to consume the boost to remain at 80, or if they want to just level up traditionally. So, yeah, it's a good thing. And you can run the trial on as many characters as you want. The boost doesn't disappear until you actually consume it on one of your characters. So, yeah. I thought it was interesting that they will do that. But I do see that new players will probably get more out of this. I don't know that existing players will get as much out of it. Although you can consume the boost and then get the gear that you can just delete because it's not salvageable, and then just get the rewards.
And that's kind of what Chad is saying, is like we all have like millions of tomes of knowledge, so this is clearly an item to sell Heart of Thorns boxes, really.
Pretty much.
Which is fine. I don't personally agree with an instant level 80 item that you can just buy, but it's not going to ruin the game. So.
I don't think so. And you can only use it once, you know, in the sense of consuming it. You can only use it once.
I can just disapprove from a distance. That's all I'll do, is disapprove from a distance. It's not going to hurt me. I don't need it for anything.
Right.
Like, maybe when new race or something comes out, I'll use it just because I won't want to click like 80 times.
Yeah.
So that would be nice.
Yeah.
That's kind of what chat's been saying also, is like, yeah, it would be nice if we could trade our level up tomes in for a level 80 booster, so we don't click so many times when we want to level up an alt, which would make sense, I think. I think that'd be cool if they put a vendor in for that.
Yep. And Carnifex asks if this includes the Elite too. I'm assuming you mean the Elite spec, and no, the Elite spec is not unlocked. You get all of the core specializations will unlock when you do the level 80 boost, when you consume it. But after that, you have to go and hunt your hero points, because what they've done is, when you're in a trial, you are locked into the Silver Waste map. You cannot leave that map. You cannot interact with any of the hero points, so you can't consume hero points. And there was other thing that I'm forgetting right now, but yeah, so you cannot basically go out into other maps, get those hero points, and then unlock your Elite spec when you consume the boost. So I feel that that's a way that not to cheapen the Elite spec quest. But now with the whole Heart of Thorns reward XP getting the super buff that it did on certain bosses, it's a good thing, I think.
I think it's a good incentive for people who don't have Heart of Thorns to buy Heart of Thorns, because like they're already going to be slogged down by the leveling is quick to begin with. Once you get into like 40 and 50, that area, that's when it really starts to slow down, and you're like, it'd be nice to not be doing this anymore. So I could see that, and if they know if they buy the box they get an instant level 80, I could see that selling a lot of boxes. So in the interest of franchise longevity, it doesn't bother me, but a little part of me is like, back in my day, we leveled our characters, you know?
Yeah. I
but that's not really fair, so I don't know. I'm not gonna be that guy that's always whining about it, but I'm not a huge fan of it.
Yeah. But like, I think like you said, it's not aimed at veteran players, so
yeah,
we
exactly.
get the rewards from it once we consume it, and we can just go on our merry way and forget that it even exists.
Yeah, they know people like us who have played 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 hours of the game. We have all the tomes of knowledge we'll ever need, ever. You know, like we're good. So this is definitely there for new players and there to sell Heart of Thorns, both of which are ultimately good for the franchise.
Yeah, Simply Dio just brings up also important to note, Dio brings this up in chat, also important to note against people that say it ruins the leveling and cheapening. Early development, they did not want to do levels. I think, tell me more.
I mean, what he means is they didn't, in the original inception of Guild Wars 2, the plan was to have a level-less MMO. But, I mean, that was we're talking like 2007, 2008 development. I mean, that plan was scrapped very early in favor of levels, and the game has levels now. That's how it is. Levels are part of the game experience, so I think it is a valid argument to people who genuinely enjoy the leveling experience. Like, I kind of like it, so I don't think it's a valid argument to say, well, originally they didn't want levels, because that's kind of a moot point now, since it was so early in development that you know, the game as a whole had several overhauls past that point before they got to the final product. So I don't really find that to be a valid counter argument to somebody not enjoying this level 80 boost.
Yeah. I think, I don't know what I think. I know that I think the way that they designed the trial experience, I think it helps kind of counteract any kind of cheapening effect that they would have. But and it's only a one-time thing. Like you can only use it once. And I like that. Who was it that brought it up in chat? Oh wow, I'm gonna screw your name up, and I'm so sorry. Eonenmasil. Eonenmasil. That feels very Tolkien-esque. I'm sorry, but they said that they will never sell it in the gem store. Is the point that Eonenmasil brings up in chat, and I think that that's a good thing. It shouldn't be sold in the gem store.
Yeah, it shouldn't be sold in the gem store.
Yeah. So yeah, the level 80 boost. It's a thing. It's here. So do you think you'll just use it? You'll just consume it, or have you consumed it yet?
No, I haven't. I'll use it if, like I said, if a new race comes out at some point, but because I don't think a new profession is gonna ever come out again. But yeah, if a new race or profession comes out, I'll use it then. Otherwise, I'm good.
So here's the thing, like, you know how they brought this level 80 boost thing, and they gave us this free shared inventory slot that we get to keep. And it's like, oh, wow, thank you, ArenaNet, for just giving us stuff. But it's...
I'll take it.
I'll take it, and, when I was running around, I was just like, ooh, shared inventory slot, okay. I'll just leave that level 80 boost there. But I know myself. I can feel that as soon as that thing is consumed and that slot is there empty, I'm going to be like, what can I put there?
See, I don't know what I want to put. Like, I don't really have anything that I need across all my characters. I mean, I guess maybe like a Mystic salvage kit. Yeah, maybe a Mystic salvage kit. That would be about it. Because, yeah, it would be nice not to have to port back to deal with my rares.
Yeah.
So, Mystic salvage kit is probably what I'd put in there.
But I think that just seeing that shared inventory slot just sitting up there, I feel like I'm the type of person that will be tempted into getting more. And and I know that when these first came out, we were, I think across the board, the three of us here on the podcast were like, why? That's so dumb, whatever. If you guys want to go get it. But we're not gonna be dumb enough to do that, or Heart. But I kind of feel like maybe I am gonna be buying one in the future. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah. I don't know. I think it will be convenient for salvage kits or the copper-fed salvage-o-matic if you've got one, or the silver-fed one. Yeah. So, I like that they thought of us enough to do that, but I do see this as a marketing thing, because I'm always thinking marketing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So,
yeah. What other things are we happy with? Aaron?
The thing I was happiest with overall was definitely the Heart of Thorns quality of life, just because things were so bad. Like, not bad, because those maps are fun, but things were so off, I would say, in those maps. They were so off, and I found myself nitpicking at what I was trying to enjoy so often that I could only stomach so long in those maps, and now I feel like I can stay in those for a lot longer, and that farming them won't be the hassle for me that it's been before. Because before I would log in, I would be like, all right, let's do some Heart of Thorns map farming. This is going to be a great day. And about 2 hours into that, I would be like, I'm kind of done. I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
So I think, and it was just a combination of the little things stressing me out, like the lack of waypoints and the events kind of scaling too high for one person to make much of a difference, and the solo champion events and all that sort of stuff, and the slow experience and the insane amount of participation you need to get that max map participation. Yeah. So with all of that stuff rescaled to a friendlier level, I feel like I can enjoy the game much more now.
I think that's
without stressing out so much.
I think that's it right there. For me, you just said the phrase, you can enjoy you can have fun again.
Yeah.
Well, I know that when I read through the patch notes and saw how much that they had decoupled the maps from the map-wide meta, that they had boosted the XP, that they got rid of the diminishing returns on loot,
The diminishing returns was another thing that really stressed me out all the time.
Yeah, because it's like, why am I even bothering to play if I'm not going to be getting rewarded for it?
Yeah.
It just, it made, I mean, I was getting excited just reading the notes. Like, oh my gosh, I feel genuinely excited to play this game again and log in. And that's something that I hadn't felt in a couple of months with this.
Plus, the diminishing returns never made much sense to me because it was a big step backwards from what they did with the Silver Waste, because the Silver Waste never gives you diminishing event rewards.
No.
Never. You get the same every, that cycle's repeatable, like, as many times as you want. You can join a done map and go right back into Vine Wrath after you just finished a Vine Wrath, and you'll get the same rewards. Like, they never diminish on you, so I thought that was crazy that they implemented that for Heart of Thorns, so I'm glad that they changed that.
I know that one thing that we talked about is how the maps were tied to their timers now, and it feels like you can go in now and just push it if you want to, but if you don't want to, you don't have to.
Yeah.
So it's just so much good. Yeah.
Yeah, I was really, really happy while I was reading through all those patch notes. I was like, finally, I'll be able to jump in here and not groan every other second. Like, oh yeah, that's how that is. I forgot. Not so fun. Maybe I'll go back to Silver Waste. And maybe I can stay in a map for a good 5-6 hours now and just have an enjoyable afternoon of getting a whole bunch of bags.
Well, and that's another thing too, is that they changed how many bags you have to click through on your loot.
Yeah, they said they redistributed the awards so you get the same amount of stuff just in less bags, which
is awesome. Why do we need to develop carpal tunnel from clicking?
Yeah, this Guild Wars 2 was kind of turning into Bag Simulator, and that wasn't the most fun thing in the world. Remember that 5,000 bags I opened?
Yes.
That was kind of crazy, and my finger felt a little bit dead. So
yeah, that was almost like 5 hours that it took you to open.
That was a solid. That was over 4 hours. That was insane.
Yep.
So overall, the Heart of Thorns quality of life changes are probably what I like the most. I really like the new daily changes. The 2 gold is awesome. We went over that. And the new dungeon dailies really make me happy because dungeons were so neglected. And then the LFG changes actually were really awesome too. I know we gushed about that already, but man, it's nice to have that all cleaned out and pristine, and everything is in the right place, and there's little spots for everyone. It's perfect. It's great.
Yeah, and I like the whole little pop-ups that come in the descriptors. So if you're not sure what they do, what each area does, category does, that you can find out. Good for new players. Yeah. Just good.
They definitely they did a good job of trying to idiot-proof it. It's not gonna, obviously idiot proofing can never be foolproof because there's always that one idiot that's like king idiot.
Right.
But they did a pretty good job, and I think we're gonna see order there for the most part, which makes me super happy.
Carnifex brings up about Dragonstand, and this is a map that, because of the way that Dragonstand was set up before, I just ignored completely. And now I feel like I have incentive to go in. They changed how long the map is open for. You can actually go in. Carnifex mentions you can get nice loot from Dragonstand in a 90-minute run. You're starting to feel incentivized to play
instead of like a 2.5 hour run.
I mean,
it was before.
Right. So that's just being able to go in and play whatever you want when you want. It just feels like they went back to their core in a way. ArenaNet. So I'm super happy and excited. And it looks like
overall very good patch. One thing I did want to mention about it though is it was feature heavy content light, which is something I know they kind of wanted to start shying away from. They wanted to start doing more content and less feature, but it just shows that the product is never going to be completely feature complete.
Yeah.
There's always going to be a lot of there's always going to be quality of life stuff that we need. There's always going to be broken stuff that needs fixing, and it's just I would have liked to see more content, but
they have said
we needed all this stuff.
So the AMA that they did on patch day, that's one of the things that they mentioned, that quarter 3 is going to be their big content one. Delphi was nice enough to do a little TLDR notes on it. Let's see if I can find it up really quick. The next quarterly update will be focused on new content. There will be more living world, less rework of existing features. Maybe we'll bundle living world and the quarterly update. That's to be determined. So, yeah, I was one of these players that I was kind of, we need new content already, people. But with the way that they've reworked everything, it almost feels like we got a new game. Not new, but like we can play it in a different way so that it feels more.
Mm-hmm.
It feels fresh again. It feels fresh again.
I worry that people are gonna, like, now they're still in the rejoicing phase for this patch. I feel like in 2 weeks though they're gonna be back to being complacent, which is gonna get old really quick.
You know, and that's the thing is like the community, because of the lack of content, it was really toxic. You'd go into Reddit and it was like all of the posts were just negative. Maybe a few, like one or two that were like positive. But now, I know this past week, it's like Reddit has just been happiness, sharing things again. So I hope that lasts, because we're not gonna, like you said, is this gonna last us the entirety of quarter 2?
Yeah, I think people are going to get bored with it pretty quickly. Like, the only people who aren't are the people who are chasing ad infinite, or whatever it's called.
Ad infinitum.
Yeah, infinitum, and Chuka and Shumpo. God, I hate that name so much.
CNC. The CNC.
Yeah, CC.
Yeah.
We'll call it CC.
There you go.
But yeah, those people are the only people with, like, long-term goals out of this patch. The rest of the people are going to do, they're going to run through Heart of Thorns a few times and be like, yeah, this is great. But I've already played a lot of this, so it remains to be seen how long this keeps people happy for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know that I'm just going to be going and finding the rest of those ranger pets that came in with Heart of Thorns, 'cause I think I've got like 2.
Truth.
And,
I need the tiger and the lightning.
Yep.
Wyvern.
I think I need those both as well. I'm trying to remember if I even got the fire wyvern. I can't even remember. I know that I got the smoke scale and the bristleback. I think those are the only 2 that I got. But yeah, so just being able to go in again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know what else to say except that I'm happy.
Yeah, no, it was a good patch.
Good
it was
patch.
Definitely a good patch. It was a commendable patch. The effort put into it was commendable. And I give ArenaNet a virtual pat on the back for it overall.
Yeah.
It was a good patch.
Good patch. So I think that covers everything we wanted to talk about today. I didn't think we would actually get through it all.
I know. We somehow we managed it.
Yeah.
A lot of paraphrasing. Again.
Yeah.
Paraphrasing
Obviously.
was essential here.
And yeah, exactly. With 30 odd pages, yeah, it definitely was essential. Do you want to talk about a couple things? I mean, we mentioned that I released that level 80 boost article. If you want more information on what all is there and what you get locked out of, because I did forget something. You can go check that out. And Star and Drax, 2 of our writers, they wrote up a thing on basically conspiracy theory about Moto and Sab, and what Moto knows and what he's actually trying to get the players ready for, which is a nice little thing. It was a fun piece for them, and it was really popular. It got a lot of attention on Reddit, so we're happy for that. That people are happy. But yeah, it's not like, I think they made for a conspiracy theory, it was well thought out. That's all I can think about. They went through and compared like the elements that you see in World 1 and World 2 to show what Moto might be trying to hint that we need to get prepared for. So those are fun pieces. You can check those out. And the anniversary of Guild Wars 1 is this week. It's on Tuesday. And yesterday, if you are following our Twitch channel here, if you're not, please give us a follow if you like our content. Aaron went through and did some Guild Wars 1 streaming, gave away minis and tonics. So if you are in need of Hall of Monument points for your Guild Wars 2 skins. Yeah. Aaron's going to be streaming again Tuesday. Right? We're starting at what, noon?
Yeah, noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday. I did give away all my giveaway goodies yesterday.
We've got more.
But we might be able to get our hands on more. So that's something that we can make happen. And it'll probably be like the giveaway happens in Temple of Balthazar, American District 1. But also going to be playing content like... we did Fisher, Woe, and Underworld already on Saturday. Mm-hmm. So maybe we'll do like Domain of Anguish and perhaps Slaver's Exile on maybe a Vanquish or something like that.
Okay, there you go.
On Tuesday. So we'll do some fun, difficult stuff.
Yep.
So look forward to that.
Yep. So that'll be 12 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. British Summertime, or 7 p.m. GMT. And we'll follow our social media at Twitter at GuildMag, Facebook.com/GuildMag. And just keep an eye out for that, and we'll make sure that we get our messages out so you'll know when we're going to start. So that'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How was the response yesterday? I was watching, but I was watching from my Roku streaming device instead of being logged into my computer, so I wasn't actually able to follow chat.
So people were thoroughly enjoying the stream, but what it's like, all the people in chat were like, yeah, man, Guild Wars 1 is the best, and Guild Wars 2 is awful, right? Like, it's the worst game in the world, isn't it? So, that was kind of weird. Uh-huh. I didn't know that, like, diehard community exists that hates Guild Wars 2 with a passion, but yeah, apparently the people who still play Guild Wars 1 committedly just abhor Guild Wars 2 to no end. That's funny. Which is crazy. So, that's the thing. Yeah. So come enjoy that in chat on Tuesday. It's gonna be great.
And get some free stuff for your Hall of Monument points.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that does us for today. We will be back next Sunday. We'll talk about something. We'll be here at 1 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. British Summertime, 8 p.m. GMT. I think those are our times. Yes. So give us a follow here on Twitch. Make sure you're following us on our social media channels. And we will be back next Sunday with more from the GuildMag podcast. Thanks for joining us, everyone, in chat. And we'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.
See you guys.
Bye.